This is my PowerPoint presentation on the differences of writing. So we're going to be covering 3 different types of writings. First off, we're going to be covering the objective summary. Basically, the objective summary is a brief writing on the main events that transpire within a story or an article. You want to keep it unbiased. That's one of the aspects of an objective summary. You want to keep it unbiased, kind of branching off from being unbiased. You want to not include opinionated language, and you want to avoid using first person to make it sound less about yourself. And it's a short and concrete writing about the main events of a story or a writing. You want to keep it brief, about 250 words, and of course you want to leave out any exaggeration within the language that you're using in your writing. Some of the uses for objective summaries is that you can read a news article, you could read a newspaper. This is something that you see in everyday life, and you see the titles and the subheadings and stuff. Those are kind of a category of the objective summary because you're able to skim and scan, and you're able to look at these and understand what the entire section is going to be about based off of that one small, brief little subheading or that brief title that you read. And another use for an objective summary is maybe you have a class and the professor or the teacher likes to ramble for hours, so you just want to condense everything that they said into the main points so that you're able to study this objective summary that you just wrote and use it to study for a later date for an exam or a test that you have coming up. Analytical writing, basically you want to break down a certain topic and you want to make a claim about the aspects of the topic. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm making an analytical piece on analytical writing. I'm not exactly providing my opinion, but I'm providing the aspects, and that's basically half of it for analytical writing. So analytical writing is opinionated because you want to provide your opinions on the aspects of that certain topic. Third person perspective, you want to provide a claim that is arguable. You do not want it to be 100% factual. Evidence from the story or text should provide support for the claim being made. Uses for analytical writing. Let's say a person wants to buy a broom. I don't know, a broom, just a random product, and they want to look up a review. So you want to look up a review because you're unsure which broom to buy. You don't want to buy broom A, you want to buy broom B. You don't want to buy broom B, you want to buy broom A. So you want to look up reviews, and it's basically going to break down the features of the product. Maybe it's going to tell you about the fibers within the broom or the handle, how it's built for comfort and strength. I don't know, something like that. And then you want to provide the opinions on these features and present them to the consumer. And this is a good example of analytical writing because it has all of the essentials to analyzing something. You want to break down the features, provide the opinions, and base your overall idea over what the opinions and features just provided, and you're going to come up with your conclusion, whether to buy broom A or broom B. And another use for analytical writing is what I'm doing here. I'm analyzing writing. So let's say I want to understand which form of writing would be more appropriate to use in a certain prompt. I'm going to analyze two different types of writing, and I want to choose and make my conclusion based off of the analysis that I just made. Now the last writing we're going to go over is argumentative writing, and the purpose of argumentative writing is to provide an argument or provide a statement on a certain topic. Now, aspects of argumentative writing. Argumentative writing is opinionated. Provide as much opinion as possible. You want to make the other person or reader feel like your argument is correct, or at least better than your opposing argument. Now, the thesis statement is the argument or the claim being made about a specific topic or prompt. It requires research and pre-writing in order to master the facts. You don't want to go into this writing and sound like you don't know what you're talking about. You want to provide as much evidence as possible, provide as much fact as possible. Provides a reason or reasons why the topic being argued is important. And this is important because you want to keep your reader interested. You want to make sure they know why this topic is important. Therefore, it's going to keep them reading. And you want to provide the rebuttal. You don't want to leave that out. You want to bring it in because it does help your argument to bring up the opposing ideas, because it'll make your argument seem stronger when you suppress the opposing idea. And the conclusion is not just restating the thesis. It is restating the thesis, but it's in light of the evidence that you just found. You want to kind of say it in a way like, oh, now you know this is my thesis and this is why you know it's right. Like at the beginning you were just kind of saying, presenting your thesis, but now you're saying it is right. You're kind of, putting the last nail in the coffin. And some of the uses for argumentative writing. You want to provide different viewpoints. Maybe You want to start a petition on a very controversial topic. For example, what I put here, immigration or abortion, those are very controversial. And you want to provide your viewpoint on it. You want to inform the reader. You want to give them more knowledge on the topic. And another use for argumentative writing, maybe the city is planning to build a new school or irrigation system, for example, and you want to provide a kind of form an opinion on which one would be more favorable for the city, which one would be more beneficial, and you want to provide your facts, you want to provide your evidence, and this could help persuade the decision based on your writing. And applying these writing skills, it's very important to understand what these writings are and what they're about, because you're never going to know which one's going to be the most appropriate to use in a specific situation when you're given a certain text or prompt. And it's important to understand the aspects of this because you want to know which one is going to be more appropriate and most effective in presenting your information or presenting your argument, presenting your analysis. And yeah, that's my little PowerPoint on the different types of writings. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you.